Hey guys, SWDTeam here, and happy Christmas! Today is the Dalek mod, update 62. It began December 1st as an advent calendar, basically leading up to Christmas, and here are all the features. There's a bunch of them, 24 to be exact, well, a little more. Some days they added more than one feature. Day 1 is the TARDIS snow globe. Doesn't really do anything, just kind of looks cool. Day 2 was for me a little more interesting. This is a Dalek clock, as you can see, and it shows the time. This is the time in Minecraft, and yeah, it's kind of evening. Yeah, this feature actually appeared in the 2013, I believe, Advent Calendar. 7 years ago now, wow. Yeah, it's really cool. It's been re-added. As you'll know probably from my other videos, I'm really fond of like nostalgic features to the beginning of the mod, and this certainly fulfills that for me. It's really cool. Day 3 was kind of interesting. It was a new Dalek, which is actually a snow Dalek. See, it kind of looks like the eye stalks like a carrot. These are kind of coal, etc., etc. Even kind of looks like an actual plunger on the arm. That's kind of funny. Yeah, the snow Dalek, I'll just show you what it's actually like. So this Dalek is actually kind of like a snow golem in that it can be spawned in survival by the player by placing 2 snow blocks and a Dalek pumpkin, and here it is. Yeah, this Dalek, as you can also see, is actually passive toward the player, and I don't know if I'll be able to show this off since he's on snow, but he does leave a layer of snow behind him like a snow golem would, and I believe he will also attack hostile mobs with snowballs. So yeah, kind of interesting. Not a real Dalek in the usual sense, just a neat Christmas feature. So on the 4th day, 4 new TARDISes were added. As you can see, these ones, they're kind of like rainbow, but like the theme they're going for was like ink cartridges for a printer, I believe. So this one is like CMYK. I'm sorry, I don't know what any of this means. Technicolor, vintage 70s, and synthwave. Yeah, interesting designs, I guess. And then I guess all of them have this interior, the RGB interior with the color changing roundels. Yeah, I think they all just have that interior. Oh no, that one is Time Leak, this one's First Doctor, and that one's RGB. Day 5 was actually a really interesting one. These 2 Daleks are actually based on some that actually exist in real life. I will actually put a picture of those on screen. These Daleks, I believe, were props used in the 60s that were then put in a wax museum, I think, and then later on actually bought by a private collector. So yeah, very interesting little additions to the mod. Day 6 was something that actually appeared in the TV show, and it was the wooden Cyberman from Time of the Doctor. So if you've seen that episode, you'll know it's obviously set in this Christmas town on Trenzalore, which had all those aliens, but they couldn't get into the planet, so the Cybermen sent in this wooden Cyberman in order to just get past all the shields because of how like low tech it was. And if you'll remember, the design of that Cyberman was actually the 2013 Cyberman design, just obviously made of wood. So why is the Dalek Mod 1 the Cybus Cyberman? Well, apparently the reason is actually because this was also added in the 2013 Advent Calendar. They wanted to keep kind of a consistent look with that, just as like a little reference, and I think that's actually kind of cool. And it's that actually, if you set it on fire, it actually has this burnt texture, which is kind of cool. Yeah, my one thing that I think would be even cooler about this Dalek is if it had a flamethrower, like in the episode, but it doesn't, unfortunately. Moving on to day 7, we have this TARDIS here. What is it called? The Fedora Police Box, and this is the interior. I do kind of like that, and also new gun models. So if we get the guns from the mod, let's just get a few just to show you that they've actually been like simplifying the models, which they're working on basically to make them more like fit into the Minecraft aesthetic basically, and also be less laggy when they have to update to 1.15. So I'll just show you a few of those. The Dalek gunstick especially. It used to be like a flat-out sphere, but now it's just a cube, pretty much. The cyborg hand looks relatively similar. And the unit gun, finally, looks like this. That's probably all I'll show off for the moment. On day 8, we had 2 new TARDIS exteriors of vending machines. I actually think this one might have already been added. I'm not sure. This one's new, though. This kind of Coca-Cola looking one. And yeah, these just use the normal vending machine interior that's been in the mod for a while. Okay, day 9 was kind of interesting. This is a Festive Nitro 9. Basically what the Festive version does is instead of exploding and taking a load of blocks with it, this one, well yeah, as you can see, it just creates snow basically, which is kind of neat. Day 10. Day 10 was a new music disc added. The pink fluffy Daleks music discs. Day 11. These are some very interesting Daleks. They're kind of like the ones that were in the Wax Museum in that they're not exactly canon, but appeared in something else. So these Daleks, I believe all 3 were actually owned for a period of time, or actually, no, it was this one was, I believe one of the props used either in the show or in one of the 60s movies, and then Terry Nation, the creator of the Daleks, actually bought it and owned it and painted it up to look like this with like kind of a 60s look, but with like a red dome for some reason and mismatched highlights. So yeah, and then later on it actually appeared in some commercials. He like lent it out to use in like, is this the, I'm not sure. So one of these was in like a Weetabix cereal commercial, and the other one was something else, so. But yeah, I believe all these are supposed to represent the exact same Dalek, if I'm not mistaken, just with some modifications made to it over the years. So that's kind of interesting. Day 12 is a, what is it? Horrible Christmas fruitcake. Kind of funny. Apparently this does actually have some precedence in the lore. It appeared in some books. The Doctor mentioned that he likes fruitcake, apparently. So that's interesting. Day 13. This Dalek looks really cool. This is the Executioner Dalek from the YouTube animated series Daleks on BBC's YouTube channel. So that's kind of interesting. Didn't obviously appear in the TV show, just in this little web series they're making, so that's interesting. Day 14. New biomes on the planet Varus. That's interesting. So, and yeah, there's a new block for that too, the Varus leaves. So I'm going to head into my TARDIS real quick and just show you Varus. So here's Varus, and on its surface it just looks kind of normal in this biome, but then you get along to something like this, and we have a jungle biome. That's very interesting, and it utilizes the new leaves and the vines. These are just vanilla vines, but they look red on this planet, and same thing goes with like the grass. This is just all vanilla grass, and these leaves I think are also, yeah, just acacia leaves. So yeah, just kind of some neat new biomes added to Varus, a planet that I don't think even appeared in the show, so they could take a little bit of creative liberty with it. Day 15, another good one for nostalgia. This is the Marine Dalek, which was in some of the older Dalek mod versions, and it's now been re-added. So this Dalek basically spawns underwater, and I think it's based on a fan-made design, which in of itself was based off of a Dalek that appeared, I think, in a book / summon Marine Dalek. There we go, here's a Marine Dalek in the water. And yeah, it just flaps its little fins, swims around. I do believe it can actually do a bit of a better looking swim. Let's see if, there we go. Okay, I said better looking. They're very glitchy, but they're cool for what they're worth. I like them. And they do attack. They just, I don't think they attack with lasers. They just kind of, you just kind of get hurt when you're near them. So, yeah, they're a little weird, but a little glitchy, but I like them. So day 16, we had a couple new Daleks added. These ones obviously aren't from the show. They're just Christmas-themed Daleks, pretty much. This is called the Waffle Dalek, I believe, because Qatari's into waffles. And here we have Peppermint Daleks. That's interesting. They all have little, like, different guns and then, like, a peppermint. candy canes. The gingerbread Dalek. Very interesting, to say the least. Moving on, day 17, this furnace is actually a TARDIS. So yeah, that's the feature. I don't know how you'd be able to fit inside that, but yeah, let's just do it anyway. And here we go, here's the furnace interior, which, yeah, yes, it is interesting, to say the least. So yeah, very interesting, very good for kind of disguising your TARDIS. Day 18, another music disc. Malice of the Master. Day 19, this is, I believe, supposed to be a guitar amplifier as a TARDIS. And I think the entrance is actually on the back. Yes. And, yeah, that's just the Toyota interior, which is actually very fitting, because the 12th Doctor had a guitar. Okay, day 20 is actually one of my favorites. This is the Scream of the Shalka TARDIS. Scream of the Shalka was a web series produced in, like, 2003, I think. As basically a continuation of the classic series. So it featured its own version of the 9th Doctor, and here's his TARDIS. And it actually has a very cool interior, so I'll show you that. So here we are, in what could have been the official 9th Doctor. And yeah, lots of staircases, which actually looks very cool. And this area in the center, we have the console here, which is this very, very nice 3D model. I really like this. But yeah, that is all for the Scream of the Shalka TARDIS. Very cool, probably one of my personal favorites. Day 21. Day 21, you can already see it, and it's very, very cool. You will know this probably. The Slitheen from the 9th Doctor's era. That is a very cool and very interesting villain from the show. So I want to show you these in person, just trying to kill me. Oh no. Yeah, the sounds they make are accurate and scary, and they're very fast, like they were. And yeah, they just kind of run at you. They're terrifying, they're huge. Oh goodness, they're gonna kill me. Okay, so about this time they started adding 2 features every day, so this music disc, the Soul of a TARDIS, is also from today. So day 22 also added 2 features. So Varus leaves drop plastic now. That's a reference to an old feature where plastic used to drop from leaves in the overworld, which was removed because people thought it was unrealistic. But I guess just as a little reference to that, they added it back to Varus. And then here we have the candy cane sonic screwdriver. This, I believe, was also in one of the old advent calendars. But, yeah. This is what it looks like, and I think it was actually edible in those old ones, which is kind of funny. But, yeah, there you go, Candy Cane Sonic. Day 23, we have some new TARDIS consoles. So this is the 10th Doctor TARDIS, and as you can see, it actually has a new interior. So yeah, any of those era, like the 9th Doctor one, 10th Doctor, Bad Wolf, they all have a new interior. I believe these are new textures for these blocks as well. Coral Stone. That might be a new block, or it just might be a new texture. And then here's the new modeled console. So yeah, very interesting. It seems like they're always updating this interior. It must be hard to get right or something, because they're always updating it, but I like the most recent iteration of it. It looks good for what it is. Oh, and it doesn't use the modeled ramp. Huh, that's interesting. Also on this day we have a Paul McGann console, a new one, and it just looks like this. And finally, day 24, we have 2 new things, a TARDIS and a Dalek. So these are both based on actually some toys that came out in the 70s by a company called Dennis Fisher. So this is the Dennis Fisher TARDIS. The door opens outwards, which is accurate. And then there's these like buttons, I guess, on the top, and the lamp looks a little weird, and it just uses the 4th Doctor interior. So this is a this is all in reference to how the toy had like a feature where you open the door, you shove a Tom Baker figure in there, and then you like spin the lamp, I think, and I don't know, I guess these buttons you press or something, and I think he disappeared because it like spun the wall around, and it's like they made a big deal out of it in the commercial. It's like, and he just disappears. It's like, no, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, this is very interesting addition to the mod. I really like it. A little bit glitchy right there, but whatever. It's hilarious, and so I like it. Same with this Dalek. And this Dalek, I believe the design is very clearly based on the, where was it? The Terry Nation Dalek there with the red top. So yeah, kind of funny that it's based on that of all things. But this is what it looked like effectively. So yeah, that has been the entirety of the Advent Calendar, days 1 through 24. For Dalek mod, it is technically update 62 as well, so there you go. That has been my review of all the features. If I had to pick favorites, it would probably be the Sylvain, Scream of the Shalka TARDIS, and probably like Marine Dalek. So yeah, that has been my review. I have been Tebow2. Merry Christmas all, and goodbye.